Everybody, my next guest has appeared in the films Vanilla Sky and Almost Famous, and beginning today, you can see him in Stealing Harvard. Please welcome Jason Lee. I have to say, I do love the T-shirt. Can we get a tight shot of that? That's a great celebrity photo right there. Get in tight. That is Hasselhoff. That's the team. That's the team of Hasselhoff, and that's Gary Coleman right there.
It's quite possibly the greatest photograph ever taken. I think you've got Coleman from Different Strokes and
right.
Hasselhoff from, of course, Baywatch Nights.
No, from Knight Rider, because that's Kit, the Knight Rider
Oh, but
car.
I like Baywatch Nights, though.
You know what I love about Baywatch Nights, and this has nothing to do with anything that we're supposed to talk about, but I love it when things veer off into Baywatch Nights.
Yeah.
He had the show Baywatch, Hasselhoff, and it was going great. Then he made this spin-off called Baywatch Nights, where he's a lifeguard by day, but at night he's a detective solving crimes.
It gets a little steamier at night.
Right, and it's steamier. So the idea was that he's still Mitch, but at night he puts on a trench coat and solves crimes. And then that wasn't working, so they changed it to he solves crimes, but they're all about ghosts and monsters.
Yeah.
It was the craziest progression of shows I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, he's one of the greatest actors in the world.
Speaking of great acting, the movie Almost Famous.
Yeah.
I really like that movie a lot. We were talking about 70s rock earlier, Boston and great bands like that. This movie, I thought, captured the essence of 70s rock, and you were very good in that movie.
Yeah, thanks. You know, yeah, thanks a lot. I do have an interesting story, though, Conan. I thought I was doing an amazing job really capturing the essence of a 70s lead singer until I had a scene where I had to wear period skivvies, and they brought in some padded under skivvies.
They brought in skivvies that actually had a little prosthetic adjustments to them? I mean...
I guess they thought I lacked the 70s lead singer package.
That's a tough thing. Did they do that in front of other people? I hope they did that privately. I hope they didn't come out with all the cameramen around and say, we got to put some, extra stuff down there.
No, the wardrobe guy knocked on my trailer door and went like this. Here, can you wear these, please?
Right.
So I was
Where can you get those? Let's move on. You know what's fascinating? Something I didn't know about you, because I've seen you in a lot of movies, and you always stand out. You're a good actor. I didn't know that before you got into acting, you were a pro skateboarder. You were quite good, and you popularized some moves that are still around today. You invented them, and now they're still in the skateboarding repertoire. Is that true?
Yeah, that is very true. I turned pro when I was 18 years old. Until I was about 26.
What's the famous move that you'd say your best move that you sort of popularized?
Well, aside from being one of the smoothest skateboarders, most style, the 360 kickflip, Conan.
What's the 360 kickflip?
Well, you do an ollie, you kickflip the board,
you lost me
and
already.
It turns into 360.
You lost. I know. Parallel parking is the term that I know. What's an ollie?
An ollie is where you make the board jump.
Right.
You jump with the board, so you could jump over this couch, you could jump over the table.
Right. So what you do is you kick the board and you flip it 360 degrees and then land on it again.
Yeah, and you can do it over things like fire hydrants
and flames.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, flames.
A pit of tigers, maybe? What I'm curious about is how do you do something... I'm always wondering, how did someone do that the first time? Do you draw it out like Wile E. Coyote and then have a plan, and then go do it? Or do you just... How does that happen?
For me, it was an accident. I was doing, you see, Conan, I was doing the 180-degree kickflip.
Right. And did you have the ollie previous to it?
Yeah, and it over-rotated, so I thought I could do a 360.
So it was sort of like Edison or Alexander Graham Bell having an accident and then realizing that he invented whatever he invented.
It was a great invention.
I think he invented the skateboard. Let's talk about Stealing Harvard.
Yeah.
This is a movie that you made with Mr. Tom Green.
Yes.
What was it like working with him?
Well, I wasn't sure what to expect from him.
Right.
You know, because I guess he's a bit wild, as we all know. So I wasn't sure what I would...
He's kooky.
Yeah, he's wacky. you know, as they say. He was the wacky sidekick. But he was very low-key, and so we're rehearsing, and I'm kind of giving him a hard time, and he looked at me, and I said, no, don't worry, Tom. I was really nervous. Don't worry, I was just busting your balls, you know. And he said, no, show some respect. You're just busting my ball. And I said, what? And he said, well, you know, I only have one ball, right? And I said, okay, sorry, Mr. Green, I was just busting your ball.
Does he
So
go
that was
around,
the first time I met him.
does he go around reprimanding a lot of people about that?
Apparently so.
Yeah.
But he's a good sport about it. You know, he's a little, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the movie is about you, this is about you promising, well, just tell us briefly.
Well, I have to come up with $30,000 because I made a promise to my semi-white trash niece. After she,
Is that how she's described in the script?
well, she's less white trash than Megan Mullally's character, my sister, who's very white trash. And she, at the age of 9, failed a spelling bee. She couldn't spell the word tarp. So I say, oh, don't feel bad. If you ever get into college one day, I'll pay for it. Of course, I didn't think she would get in. She gets into Harvard. I have to come up with 30 grand.
So this is you coming up with the money and you're being helped by your friend.
Yeah, robbing liquor stores with spray-painted squirt guns and the like. It's
Which
really
no one should
interesting.
do at home. Don't encourage kids
Yeah.
to follow in your footsteps. Stealing Harvard is in theaters now.
Today.
And it was so cool having you here on the show. Thanks for making time for us. You're
Thank
a good
you,
man.
Conan.
Mr. Jason Lee. Jason Lee, everyone. We'll take a break. Super Drag gonna perform when we come back.
Late Night with Conan O'Brien. Why? Party!
Let's leave it alone.
Late Night with Conan O'Brien. TV to keep you up.
All right, everybody, that's our show. Do you want to thank my guest, Mr. Jason Lee? Thanks so much for being here. Good to have you here. Our thanks to Al Franken for explaining it all to us. Big thanks to Super Drag for being on the show. And, of course, Mr. Jimmy Vivino and to Max Weinberg. 7 September, last call with Carson Daly. We'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.
Education is for everyone. You can be who you will be. Work hard, get a degree, but keep your individuality. Welcome to Diversity University. Diversity University. Come one, come all y'all come free. Hi, diddle-doo and diddle-doo. Welcome to Diversity U.
Learning.
Diversity University. Diversity University.